amplified unit. Red team, go! Yow! Not even 5 a.m. And you guys just got that red team go performance. Now that's true dedication to my amplified unit. Now we got some weather storming on in. Within the last 6 days, we had 2 huge snowstorms. We got some more weather coming on in today. We got a big snowstorm coming Thursday and Friday, and then another big storm coming early next week. And because of all of this weather coming on in, BC had to change up some of his travel arrangements. And because of that, this review will be in audio format only. But I assure you, we are going to bring you full amplification in this review. And I'm damn glad we got that live stream in yesterday before Raw hit the airwaves. I did an impromptu live stream. Hundreds of you guys were able to catch that live. Thousands have caught that stream since. So I'm glad that at least got out to you guys. We had a lot of fun in that stream, man. We kicked ass. We dropped those truth bombs. We dropped those facts like nobody in this community can do. Only BC Amplified, the dominant alpha in the YWC. And we're gonna do it again in this review, I assure you. Forget the fact that it's not even 5 a.m. Forget the fact that we have to travel 220 miles today. Forget the fact that we got some bad weather storming on in. We're talking pro wrestling, and we're doing it better than anybody. And I mean anybody in this community. And I want to get this thing started, Jack. We're gonna get to it all, too. We're gonna talk about Nia's hole trending. That's right, you heard me correctly. I don't know which hole was trending. As an alpha male, I don't want to assume when it comes to female parts and what might be hurting. But Nia's hole was hurting, and it was trending. We're going to get to that. We're also going to get to Matt Riddle. That's right, I said Matt Riddle. I refuse to call him by just Riddle. This isn't a Batman movie. This is Matt Riddle, WWE superstar, professional wrestler. Let's treat him as such. Let's put some respect on his name. Matt Riddle and Keith Lee doing the thing last night. Bro, what a match. We're going to talk about that as well. We're going to talk about Vince McMahon in panic mode, trying to thrust together an entire pay-per-view with just 13 nights from the actual event. 13 nights away from last night is Elimination Chamber, and Vince McMahon did not have one match announced before Raw hit the airwaves. Was it any better after Raw went off the air? Oh, we're gonna talk about it. And we're gonna start right from the beginning too, man. Such an odd way to start this show. WWE knew they were fucked. The Chamber pay-per-view is 13 nights away from last night, and there was literally 0 matches announced thus far. So this show starts with Adam Pearce, middle of the ring, announcing that Drew Mack will be defending the WWE title in 13 nights inside the Elimination Chamber. And his opponents will be AJ Styles, Jeff Hardy, Randy Orton, Miz, and Sheamus. They had no choice but to announce that shit from the jump. No qualifying matches, nothing. They had to announce all of these names right from the brick, right from the jump. And I'm actually okay with this, because what's the alternative? Are you going to give us a bunch of qualifying matches? Are we going to have 2 qualifying matches in the first hour, 2 more in the second hour, 2 more in the third hour? That's lazy booking. That's letting McMahon off the hook. He just has to fill his entire show with qualifying matches. And why should we care? What's the ultimate surprise at the end? What's the gift? What's the present? What's your reward? You get to be in the Elimination Chamber. Wow! Everybody gets title shots on a whim these days, so it doesn't matter. They're just throwing any name imaginable into these matches anyway. Why would I waste 3 hours to wait and see who's in it when you could just tell us who the fuck you're putting in it right from the jump? I don't need to play this game for 3 hours with your stupid, nonsensical qualifying matches. So I'm glad they just let everybody know right from the jump. And again, they had no choice. There's only 13 nights from the event. From last night, now it's 12 nights. And they had not one match announced. So they needed everybody's attention from 8 p.m. last night, East Coast time. They needed everybody's attention who was watching to know that there is in fact a match at the Elimination Chamber. They want you to think they're not completely stupid. They do have a plan. We swear to you. We promise. We have a plan. They don't have a fucking plan, bro. The Rumble was last Sunday. This next pay-per-view is 3 weeks from that last one. And then 3 weeks from then, there'll be another one called Fastlane. And then a month later is WrestleMania. They're building WrestleMania with 1 fucking month. I tell you, this company, man, I feel like the entire company was dropped on its dome piece 2, 3 too many times at its inception. Anyway, that wasn't even that's not even the cherry on top. You ready for this? Even weirder was the fact that Adam Pearce announced Shane McMahon to the ring. So Shane McMahon returns to WWE, and all McMahon did was tell Pearce that he was doing a good job. Then he went away. He went to the back, he got in a limo, and he fucking took off. And we're scratching our dopies, and we're thinking to ourselves, wait, what the fuck was that? Shane McMahon came back to tell Adam Pearce he's doing a good job, and then he just hightailed it. It's almost like he stopped by just to check in on his pops. He had to go see the old man for something, and Vince was just like, hey, can you do me a favor? We're about to hit the air in 10 minutes. You want to just go out there and just say, welcome everyone to Raw? Or maybe, hey Adam, you're doing a good job. Just show your face. Our product completely sucks. Maybe Shane O'Mac can put some life into this shit. Honestly, it's almost like this was literally a last-second decision. Shane, go out there. Let the people see you, right? Let's get something trending. Let's get Shane O'Mac is back on Raw. And I like Shane O'Mac, but who the fuck cares unless he's doing something intriguing? He tells this dude he's doing a good job, and then he literally just takes off. This entire first segment was odd, and it just got even more weird when we went right into an AJ Styles versus Jeff Hardy match. And Byron Saxton is on commentary screaming like he just lost his virginity. This night just keeps getting better, guys! That was an exact quote. And BC is thinking, what the fuck are you talking about, Byron Saxton? What keeps getting better? What was good so far, Byron? Was it Adam Pearce calling out a bunch of names for a match nobody cares about and an event we care about even less? Was it Shane McMahon returning to Raw for no reason? It's almost like he took a wrong turn and he wound up in the ring and he's like, oh, hey guys, I was just looking for the old man's office. What's up? Anyway, Adam, you're doing good. Hey, everybody. All right, check you later. What keeps getting better? AJ Styles versus Jeff Hardy? Again, Byron? Have you not seen it before, Byron? Because I have. BC, relax, man. He's just doing his job. You know, he's pumping it up. Dude, there's nothing in that first segment that you can even lie about. You can't even embellish or fabricate anything so far being good. This Hardy versus Styles match, it was okay. At times it was good. But I've seen it before, and it just came at us out of the blue. It did not create that spark that I desire from a beginning of a pro wrestling show. We should be getting the very best storytelling at the top of the show because it alone is going to keep us invested for the rest of the show. And if you do it correctly, your culminating moment at the end of the show will catapult the storyline to the next week, and the next week, and ultimately, the pay-per-view. There was no spark here. Nothing had us interested for the rest of the night. Nothing. Styles taps out Hardy via the calf crusher, and we can move on. And I don't know if that's a good thing or not. I mean, I can't tell you that this show gets any better. We go to the New Day versus Retribution. There's a shocker, said no motherfucker ever. We've been seeing Xavier Woods take on every fucking member of Retribution for the last 4 weeks. The only one left would be Reasoning, or what the Reckoning. Whatever you want to call her. Mia Yim is the only one left. Is Xavier going to take on Mia Yim next week? Anyway, representing Retribution was Candy Bar and Slap Attack. Match was actually decent, nothing special, but it held its own. Ali was great on commentary. He really sold the group and their anger. But after last night's loss to the New Day, Kofi and Xavier, everyone has to be real with themselves at this point. Retribution is done. I mean, they were pretty much DOA. But you like Ali. And we like Dijakovic and Mia Yim, and we know what they can bring to the table. But as Retribution, they've been a bust from day one. And they just keep racking up loss after loss after loss. So not only is the gimmick horrible, the push, the booking is just as tragic. Listen, I understand we like the individuals, most of them anyway, that are in this group. They're done, guys. It's time for everybody to jump on board with that notion. They need to be dismantled, and Reckoning needs to be Mia Yim, and Candy Bar needs to be Dijakovic, and even let Puff Daddy's sidekick, what's his name, Mace, let him be Dio Madden. But everybody just has to, man, you talk about a gimmick rehaul. Retribution, from day one, has been going 150 miles an hour straight to a cement wall. No brakes, no cushion, just high impact. You gotta save these individuals, man. They're going nowhere, and I just don't know how they can be saved now. Even if you start to book them correctly, give them the moon, you put them on a 17-week win streak. Is that going to do anything for this group? I think they're so far gone. I think the gimmicks alone, people just never got on board with. It's gonna literally take moving mountains to get this group on track, guys. I don't know. I just don't see the future with this group. But New Day defeats Retribution. Moving on. Hour number 2 kicks off with a face-to-face in-ring encounter between Lacey Evans and Charlotte Flair. Now, this was a disaster from the jump, from the promotional work that they did early Monday morning. They already let the cat out of the bag that Evans was taking on Flair in a match. Then they changed it late afternoon to a face-to-face encounter, and when it was all said and done, it turned into a match anyway. I mean, this is what I mean about this company being clueless. And anybody that says, BC, you're so mean to this company. BC, you're too harsh. You're too critical. It's because they leave the door wide open to do such. I don't want to be. I grew up loving WWE. I still talk about it so passionately because I love professional wrestling and I want to see companies like WWE succeed wildly. But if you're going to suck for so long and be so damn bad every show consistently, I have no choice. I have a decent-sized audience that needs me to tell them the truth. The company is in shambles because it makes erratic decisions. Stupid choices. This is no different, man. Even their promotional team is not on board, and that's probably because the writers are telling them one thing, then Vince gets to the fucking Thunderdome an hour beforehand and starts ripping up scripts, so then promotional has to fucking switch up what they put out. It's a mess. It is a damn mess. Nobody in that company is on the same page. And then you wonder why nobody in that company is happy. Unless you're in like a top spot, getting those huge paydays, the big placement on the cards, then you're probably good. But from regular Joe Schmo employee to superstars in that locker room, ain't too many people happy in that company these days. And it's hard to be when nobody's on the same page and you don't know what the fuck you're doing from minute to minute. And those are the stories that we hear in that company. From employees to superstars. Nobody ever knows what the fuck they're doing. Anyway, back to this match. Supposedly, Evans tells Charlotte that if she is to beat Charlotte Flair in a match, she will get a championship shot at Asuka. So I don't know how that works. Didn't Naomi just pin Asuka last week? So wouldn't Naomi get a shot? BC, you're using logic and common sense again. You can't do that with that company. You know Vince's response? No! Naomi's holding the hand of my other blonde bombshell brigade member, Lana! I tell you, the way he protects his blondes in that company, it is hilarious, but also downright sad. So Evans tells Charlotte that if she is to beat her, she will get a shot at Asuka. And this match becomes official like seconds later, so we all saw where this was going. 13 nights away from the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view, and they have no choice but to fill the card immediately, ASAP. And they're saving Charlotte for Mania to take the title from Asuka. That's what it looks like, tragically. So clearly, Evans is winning this shindig. But it's Vince's golden child, so she's not losing clean for sure. And sure enough, Charlie Flair pushes the ref at the end of this thing, getting herself disqualified, and she hauls off on Evans in frustration. Could you guys imagine if they spent even an ounce of this type of energy on giving their Raw Women's Champion Asuka this much attention and storyline? They threw a title on Asuka to shut all of us up, and proceeded to book Charlotte Flair as the golden child. Business as usual in WWE. You can't make this shit up. Evans and Asuka will now be at the Elimination Chamber. And again, who knows, man. Knowing this company, they could have Evans take the title from Asuka. And that way, when Charlotte gets the belt at Mania, the fans won't turn on her, right? This could be a way for Vince McMahon to think, maybe Charlotte will get the warm reception if she's beating somebody the fans don't care about like Lacey. So don't be surprised if McMahon has Asuka drop the title to Lacey just to have Charlotte beat Lacey at Mania in a rematch. I'm telling you, man, these are things that McMahon would do. I would not put it past this son of a bitch. The Rated R Superstar Edge was up next, and he says he's going to wait until the dust settles after Elimination Chamber to make his Mania decision. Miz hits the ring with Johnny Morrison and Angel Garza, seems to be linked up with them now. And Miz reminds Edge that no matter who he chooses, he'll be there with the Money in the Bank briefcase afterwards. So Edge then proceeds to mic drop Miz with a straight fire promo. This is so refreshing, man. Everybody that talks shit about Edge these days, all the keyboard warriors, all the pro wrestling interweb nerds who want to talk shit about Edge, and he's holding people back, and he's holding back the younger talent, and all of a sudden his age is an issue. What is he, 47 or something like that? How is his age an issue? Tom Brady is in his 40s. Everybody said he should have retired years ago because it's just quarterbacks in their 40s. It's just go. Just retire. But why? If you're winning Super Bowl after Super Bowl, if you're the best at what you do, age is just a number. Edge in his promos is still better than 99% of that roster. Deal with it, that's a fact. In the wrestling ring, he can still go with 99+% of that roster. So how is everybody writing this dude off? And he's not even just part-time. He says he wants to be as close to full-time as possible, at least for the next couple of years. This was this dude's words. So people are writing him off because of his age. People are saying he's a part-timer. And this is all just bullshit. It just is. You watch his promo last night, and just like every single time he's on the mic, he's mic dropping people. He's dropping straight fire. Spitting promos like this roster only wishes they could do. That's why I say him and Roman in a storyline, sign me up, take double the money. Because that's a story I'm invested in. Roman's pulling his best mic work of all time, and he's got a mouthpiece in his back pocket in Paul Heyman. And then you got Edge staring across from him. I mean, that is where the money is. The money match is Edge versus Roman. Everybody wants to play Booker, and everybody's afraid that Roman's going to lose the title. And even if he does, do you honestly think Roman's ruined? Stop it. The guy's on top of the wrestling world. Roman is just fine. I love Edge's promo last night, and he's looking at Miz, and he's like, that's the thing, man. You just want to be awesome. I'm done with that. I was that 20 years ago. I'm not in this to be awesome. He says, you want to be WWE champion. That's the difference between you and I. You want to be, Miz. I have to be. I need to be WWE champion. Because if you know the struggles that Edge has went through, 9 years this dude was told, he's done. You can't go back. Your neck is too fucked. And he willed his way back, man. Through it all, he powered through. He never gave up, never gave in. He returned. And when he returned, he had badass brawls with Orton. And he got another injury with the triceps, but he battled back. He wins the Rumble, man. This is his redemption story, and you can't tell me he's still at his age. I don't know why that's a big factor for people. It's not like he's Bill fucking Goldberg. People need to start putting respect on Edge's name. After all of that, you can't tell me Edge is still not one of the best today. People are treating this situation like he's the best of yesterday, and that was it. 15, 20 years ago. Today, Edge is one of the best. You gotta deal with that fact, man. Just because somebody is a certain age, you cannot deny the truth. The guy is one of the best. The best promo, still one of the best in that ring, still one of the best to carry a storyline. Why the fuck shouldn't he have a title? I didn't know there was an age limit. If you cannot make superstars with your young kids, you have a 3-hour-a-week Monday Night Raw show. You have another 2 hours on Friday nights. You got a couple hours on your other brand with NXT. If you cannot build stars, if you need your 2 top titles to be the be-all, end-all to build a superstar, somebody larger than life, then your company is in bigger trouble than we already assumed. If you're blaming Edge for holding back the roster, please. That is a dumbfoundingly stupid take on the entire situation. And all apologies, by the way. I just realized I had a little bit of a mic issue during that entire Edge rant. Hopefully you guys were able to hear that Edge rant just now. But it looks like I got the mic issue fixed. But yeah, I'm just dumbfounded how fans have turned their backs on Edge so quickly. Edge is taking up a roster spot. Edge is holding back young talent. Edge is holding back the roster. Edge should not have won the Royal Rumble. Edge should not be winning a championship. Well, you want to know what Edge is? He's one of the only captivating superstars, that's right, superstars in the entire company. That's the truth. The word fickle doesn't even describe these self-proclaimed fans. I would also use the word entitled. I would use the word stupidity. It's a concoction of words to describe these types of fans, and it's pathetic. Edge deserves a lot more fucking respect than that. If you don't like him anymore because he's not 5 feet 9 inches tall, and he doesn't do a lot of flips and dives, and he's not 27 years old, that's on you, brah, but don't ruin it for the rest of us. BC Amplified is just coming at you with straight talk. I really hope you can handle that shit. Moving on. Damian Priest then defeats Angel Garza via his finisher, the Mia Yim. They also planted the seeds during this match for the rumored WrestleMania match. I broke this to you guys in yesterday's live stream, the preview to Monday Night Raw video that I put out. And that's Miz and Morrison taking on Damian Priest and Bad Bunny at WrestleMania. Yup. Hey, I'm just a messenger in this, man. I'm telling you what I'm hearing. Do not be shocked if that's the match you're getting at WrestleMania. Again, Miz and Morrison versus Damian Priest and Bad Bunny. That's the rumored match. And last night, it looks like they planted the seeds. Because Bad Bunny got involved in this match. Miz and Morrison were thrown out. Garza loses because Bad Bunny interfered a little. I don't know, man. They're planting seeds, and I can't say that these are seeds that are going to be rewarding. And that's not shade to Bad Bunny, by the way. He's a big WWE fan. It's cool that he gets to live out his dream, but where does it end? Because now we're starting to hear, as I also broke in yesterday's live stream, Little Bow Wow, rapper Little Bow Wow, is actually... it's not contemplating. He says he wants a run in WWE. Little Bow Wow now wants to come to WWE. He says once his latest album drops, that's what he's going to focus on. And he's gotten into the business too, because Snoopy Dogg is the one that found Little Bow Wow. Snoop Dogg actually gave Bow Wow his name, Little Bow Wow. So don't think that Bow Wow in just a few months can't be in WWE. We laugh at the notion, but you could be seeing Bow Wow and Bunny in a tag team. I tell you, man, that's what I mean. Where does it end? He got into it, too, with Candy Bar from Retribution. Candy Bar was talking about, or Bow Wow says on social media that he wants a run in WWE, and Candy Bar basically said, yeah, that's definitely, because Bow Wow said this may sound crazy, but I want to run in WWE. And Candy Bar was just like, that doesn't sound crazy. That is crazy. Don't make us tear you up. Candy Bar said something like that. So Bow Wow responded, are you just upset that I'm going to be world champion before you? And I'm like, and then he says mic drop. And I'm like, Bow Wow, that was not straight fire, dude. Bow Wow, that is not how you cut a promo. Oh yeah, well, I'm going to be champion before you do. And this is, again, why BC stays the fuck off social media. It's the dumbest place in the world. So anyway, it looks like Bunny and Damian Priest will be teaming up at WrestleMania to take on Miz and Morrison. And again, they planted those seeds in last night's Damian Priest victory over Angel Garza. And hour number 2 ends with a fantastic match. And that's an understatement. Between Keith Lee and Matt Riddle. Only 10 minutes long. I wish it was 45, 60 minutes. Give them an Iron Man match. Because they rocked it. Lee defeats Riddle with the Spirit Bomb. But, wow. I mean, I know Matt Riddle cannot kick out of the Spirit Bomb, right? You have to pick and choose when to use your false finishes. The Spirit Bomb is a devastating move, especially how Keith Lee performs it. You can't have everybody kicking out of it, especially in the middle of a Monday Night Raw. So I understand that, but man, I wanted this match to go on longer because it's magic. You know, if you're a longtime wrestling fan, you know what I'm talking about. Every once in a while, you get two dudes or two gals who get in that ring, and it's magic, whether it's 10 minutes, sometimes 5 minutes if it's real magic. And you just know, after just a couple of minutes, you know that they are gelling. They're rolling and firing on all cylinders together. The chemistry is there, and you just want this thing. It's one of those old chants, fight forever. That's what I was kind of thinking while watching Lee and Matt Riddle last night. And on the independents, this is not the first time, guys, here in WWE that they've met. There's a video of these dudes taking on one another in the independents, and I gotta tell you, man, they had some matches. They tore the roof off of those bingo halls. And last night was just the continuation of their chemistry. It was just so fantastic to see. You know, with me, unfortunately, this company has gotten me jaded to the actual professional wrestling to the point where I could get AJ Styles versus Jeff Hardy at the beginning of the show, and I don't give one iota. I couldn't give two shits about it. AJ Styles and Jeff Hardy, and I don't care. And in the main event, you could give us Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton, and I couldn't give one iota. I couldn't give two shits. I did not care. Because we see it so many times. It's redundant. They don't let them go full throttle. They don't give them enough time. One mistake, one botch after another booking-wise. And when you mishandle something so epic so many times, after a while, people are not going to care. And that's why I became jaded to the actual wrestling portion of WWE. But when you see straight magic, like Matt Riddle and Keith Lee performed last night, and the chemistry that they had, it's so refreshing, you know? We always talk about the larger-than-life characters aspect of pro wrestling, the storylines. I mean, these are fundamentals that pro wrestling was founded upon. It's the very core of professional wrestling. But without the wrestling, you have nothing. And when the wrestling sucks for so long, you get jaded. And it sucks to feel that way. Especially when you have great wrestlers in the ring like Randy Orton and AJ Styles. It sucks that I just don't care. Man, Matt Riddle, Keith Lee last night, they made me care. They were only doing their thing for 10 minutes. It felt like an eternity because for those 10 minutes, I got lost in their performance. Thank you, Keith Lee. Thank you, Matt Riddle. I hope to see a lot more from those young bucks in the future. Not the AEW Bucks, but I'm sure I'll see a lot of them in the future as well. Moving on to our number 3. Oh boy, get this. Our number 3 actually starts off with a tables match between Lana and Nia Jax. Baszler is in Jax's corner, and Naomi, sweet Naomi, is out there in Lana's corner. Naomi was out there as always, looking like a fine piece of fuck yeah! If Michelangelo and Mozart created a masterpiece together, it would be called Naomi. She is a stratosphere of sexy. Anyway, Lana actually puts Jax through a table. That's right, you heard my words correctly. Lana put Jax through a table and wins this match. And before Nia lost, she missed a leg drop on the apron, landed on that apron ass first, and Nia starts screaming out, and I quote, "Ow, my butt! Ow, my hole!" Guys, I'm not making this up. I know a lot of you guys do not watch Raw. You just tune in to BC's review. This is a true story. In fact, so true and so hilarious that it was trending on Twitter. It made its way. The word that I received was it was up to number 13 on social media, 13 on Twitter in terms of trending. Now, because I'm just not big on social media, I don't know how far it went up the rankings, but she was trending last night. My hole was trending. That's how hilarious, man. This caught the pro wrestling world by storm. It's not the Attitude Era, but she tried. Back in the day, we had 4-letter curse words and people running around with chainsaws. And now we have, ow, my hole. Guys, I can't even. What the fuck? That actually happened, man. That made me laugh. That was right up there with Adam Pearce calling Drew McIntyre Drew McInfart. And I just laughed for about fucking 9 minutes like an immature motherfucker. I didn't laugh as hard, obviously, as Titus O'Neil at the greatest Royal Rumble ever, and he tripped, and he went right underneath right through the ring apron, right underneath the ring, or the banner, whatever guys, I'm still laughing about that today. So that takes immaturity to a whole nother level, because I haven't stopped laughing at that. But this caught me off guard, man. Ow, my hole! And I'm like, she did not. I had to refine that. I found that somewhere, and I had to make sure that I heard that correctly. That was hilarious. She was trending, and we hope that Nia Jax's hole is okay this morning, man. I don't know which hole she was talking. I'm guessing she was talking about the back hole, although, the female, they're close, so maybe something. Listen, this is taking a weird turn. I don't know. Whichever hole it was, we wish Nia the best. I'm guessing it was all just storyline anyway, guys. So we're all just having fun with it. But that was something else, man. I think it's best if we just move right along, huh? Shall we? Somehow this leads into another one-on-one matchup between Shayna Baszler and Naomi, because they were kind of involved in Lana and Nia Jax match, I guess. So now we have Baszler and Naomi. This was a very quick match, with Baszler losing. There's a shocker, or not. Baszler lost another match via the awe-inspiring, ultra-devastating fruit roll-up. JR9, I believe I said there'd be 2 fruit roll-ups last night. Well, we got one, although I'm sure backstage one of the catering crusaders was fruit roll-upping R-Truth over a stale piece of banana bread. I'm pretty sure that was happening. So I bet you there was 2 last night, JR9. But we'll put 1 in the books, because that's what we actually saw. So I was 1 off, but I knew there would be a fruit roll-up. Listen, I'm glad Naomi got a victory. And a singles victory at that, not just holding the hand of Lana. It just sucks to see that Shayna Baszler is looked at as an absolute joke by Vince McMahon. And Shayna Baszler has a lot more talent and deserves a lot more respect than what Vince gives her. And now we move on to next Sunday night at Elimination Chamber, where Lana and Naomi will be going for the tag titles against Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. I don't want Naomi winning this. I can't believe I'm saying this, because I love the concept of Naomi winning championships, but I don't want her tied at the hip with Lana. I just don't. I didn't want Asuka holding Lana's hand. I don't want Naomi to have to be in that responsibility role. Let Naomi be Naomi on her own. She doesn't need Lana. Even with a championship, it'll just tie her down. We saw it with Asuka. That's how I know my statement is true. I'm not just coming out with this shit out of my ass. I'm telling you from factual history lessons. We've all taken part in this research game. We've just saw it with Asuka. Now Naomi is in that role. A fucking handler, babysitter, older sister. Main event, non-title match, Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton. Orton wins via DQ after Sheamus inadvertently bro-kicks Orton. He tried for Drew Mac. He failed miserably. Drew Mac then takes out Sheamus and stands tall, title raised high, music playing, and we go off the air. Love how Alexa Bliss cost Orton the match last week against Edge, and this week Orton is acting like it never happened. No mention of Alexa, no nothing. I think the Fiend, Alexa, and Orton storyline has gone on for so long, they don't even know where to go next. And that's a shame, because it has so much potential. I actually like what they're doing between Alexa and Orton while the Fiend is away. But I feel like it's just too little every week. And then this week, there was just nothing. And, I mean, Fiend has to come back soon, man, because this is, I said this over in AEW with Adam Hangman Page and Kenny Omega. That storyline started so good with their tag team, and then there's tension between the two, and you think, okay, This has to end soon, though, because we got to progress this story. And then it just started to drag on too long. And then it became clear that AEW didn't even have a way to end it. In fact, they never truly did end it between Hangman Page and Kenny Omega. And I just hope that WWE doesn't fall into that trap. I don't know where they're going with this, but it's been a fun ride. But now it's clear that I don't think WWE knows where they're going with this. I think they know when Fiend is coming back, but they don't know how to progress this storyline properly. So I hope that gets rectified. But that was an underwhelming finish to Monday Night Raw. I was expecting something a lot better. I was hoping for someone like Alexa. I wasn't expecting the Fiend per se, but something to continue on with Randy Orton. That's the hottest storyline on all of Monday Night Raw. A 3-hour show and nothing for that storyline. Randy Orton's out there wrestling Drew Mack like nothing even has been happening with Alexa and the Fiend. It's just, yeah. So, I know the Fiend is out and Alexa's dealing with her shit too, but you gotta know how to evolve a storyline. You can't just not mention it and then just act like it's not happening. Anyway, guys, that is your Monday Night Raw review for February 8th, 2021. The Elimination Chamber is now just 12 nights away, and we only have half the card announced, and that was all done in one night last night. So if you don't feel hyped about this, don't worry, you're not alone. I'll be hitting you with some more content later this week, guys. Kick ass always, think, be, live, amplified, and for now, check you later.